Hello guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Jesper Offersen, and on this channel here we are talking about skincare. We are talking about all the sort of things that are making your skin look much better, and for that I'm afraid you need some sort of a sunscreen, because that is basically the best defense against wrinkles and so on. But today we are going to look at something that can actually help even further, because we are going to look at something that is a tinted sunscreen, and it looks like this, and it comes from the company Avène, and they call it, the series called Cleanance or Cleanance, it's a French, and it is a tinted sunscreen, as I just said. And usually tinted sunscreens, they only come in some sort of one color. I mean, there are sunscreens that comes in various colors, but this one here, it just this one here, and they say it's a natural tone or a natural look. And the good thing about that is that apparently it is a good base for underneath a makeup, and I think they say that because of the color, or that's kind of like how it sounds when you read it. But will it actually be good underneath makeup as well as such, and not just for the color base or sort of the color it will give to your skin? This product here is meant for people that are having some sort of issues with the skin. So if you have spots, acne, and red marks and something like that on your skin, then the idea is that the color in here will go in and sort of unify the skin, or make it less obvious that you are having some sort of red stuff going on your skin. So this one here, they say down here, unifying and then anti-blemishes, so something like it will take away blemishes. And what that means is simply that in here they have something called monolaurin or monolaurin, and that is something that is going to help clean your skin or take away spots and stuff like that. Or in essence, what it is doing is that it is reducing the amount of sebum that your skin is producing, or it is supposed to do that. And by doing that, obviously you will have fewer spots and pimples and stuff like that. But in the ingredients list, when you look at the ingredients list, it is actually called something else, and it says here on this side it's called glyceryl laurate, and that is sort of a different name. But a lot of times these things, when they mention something, then it's a good idea to go in and look it up and see, do these things actually have another name as well? And then you can usually find them in the ingredients list. So this product here is from the company called Pierre Fabre, or they own Pierre Fabre Laboratoires. They own Avène, and they have used a new invention that they have made, and it's called TriAsorB or TriAsorB. What it means is that it is a new filter that Pierre Fabre has made, and it will protect you against UVA, and it will protect you against UVB, and some blue light as well, and some stuff like that. So basically it's a very broad spectrum sunscreen, but it's a chemical sunscreen. And in here there is a lot of chemical sunscreens, and the sunscreens in here, they are all those modern ones. So this one here is not approved by the FDA in America. So yes, but I guess you can buy it if you shop it on Amazon or something, a place like that. So have it shipped over, or wherever you are in the world. But in America it can be a little bit of a problem with the FDA. So yes, this here is modern filters, and in here it has it says UVB and UVA in a circle and all that sort of a thing, and it is an SPF 50 plus. So this is something very high up, I would say, and that means that there are a lot of filters in a product like this. And shall we just make a little unboxing so we can see how it actually looks, and we will of course be trying it on my skin as well later. So voila, that was an unboxing here. So it looks like this, and when we try it on my skin, I will of course use the correct amount, because as I've said before, or many times in other videos, is that people are usually using way too little, and then they just take a little bit of it. Oh yeah, it really suits my skin, and it's kind of like really good color, and it just works very, very well. It's not greasy and sinks into my skin perfectly and all that sort of thing. But usually when I try something on my skin, then I go for the correct amount, and that means that in a spoon like this, there is 1 milliliter, and that is actually not enough, because I need about 1.25 milliliter for my face, and that is usually what you need for a sort of a grown-up sort of a standard face, and that will be for the neck as well and the ears. So unless you have very big ears, kind of like most of its stuff will go on your face. And it is also important that when you are putting, even that you're using 1.25 milliliter, that you don't just put it in your hand and then go like this, and then sort of splash it all over, because then, you guessed it, the surface will be a lot more bigger than just your face, because a lot of stuff will sink into your hands, and that will not be a good idea. So kind of like keep it on your fingertips. So how will this stuff look on my face? Will it sort of like alter the color of my face and something like that? Well, let's have a look. So we open this one here, and then we start using the correct amount, or sometimes to be maybe a little kind, I don't use exactly how much I should, but it is sort of like something like this, because it can be a little bit difficult, but this one is relatively liquid, so this will sort of be, I would say, sort of the correct amount, maybe a little less than 1.25 milliliter, but yeah, you need a little top when you use a spoon that only has 1 milliliter in it. So yes, I would just go ahead and then just put it on my face. And I can just say that today I have just washed my face, and I have not put any sort of cream on top. So this is just after I washed it and took it away with a wet microfiber cloth. So or the foam or the stuff. I used the one from CeraVe, so the hydrating cleanser. So we will, you can see it all sort of like starts to sink in. So I think into the spoon. So I don't think there is 1.25 milliliter, but there is certainly a little bit more than just 1 milliliter. So we just go ahead. It is quite a lot, but that is simply just how it must be, because that is the way it is tested. So you can see it goes like this, and this is sort of supposed to be sort of mattifying and stuff like that. So yeah, here goes. I think it's sort of already we can see this is gonna be really difficult. So we put it in my forehead as well, on my forehead, down the nose, like that. And well, if you don't use shades, oftentimes I don't really use shades, and I always, when I do, I lose them. I just lost a pair recently. So we put it on my eyelids as well. And what they have used in order to color this stuff is actually titanium dioxide as a sort of a base for the colors, and the other colors, they are iron oxide, so various colors. So that gives this sort of brown, dare one say orangey color. It's not as orangey as it could be, but still this. Now, I have not used any sort of a cream underneath, as I just said, and that means that this sinks better into my skin than when I used it the other day, where I had a little bit of some cream on my skin. So, down the neck as well. So, unfortunately, with something like this, you need to have an even layer all over the face, whereas if you were using a makeup cream, then you would have the majority in the middle of your face, and then you would kind of like even it out so it matches the rest of your skin. So less and less as you go towards the ear and the neck. But here you need to have an even amount, and maybe you can already see this is simply not going to work on my skin. Maybe it will work if you have exactly this color here, but then again, if you use something like this evenly all over your face, as you must do in order to have the correct effect of the SPF 50 plus, then you will get this sort of a even color from here to there, and rarely people have that. Now, in this product here, there is titanium dioxide, and usually when it is used in a product like this for the color, then it is not coated. I don't know if this is coated, but usually when you're using titanium dioxide and it's not the nanoform, usually nanoforms, they are coated, and then they don't sink that deep into your skin as otherwise they could. But here it is just used as the color, as a base in order to highlight the other colors, so the iron oxides that are in the product. So you can see that better, just like a painter's canvas, which is white, and then you put the colors on top. And the thing about that is that actually is it so that titanium dioxide might be something that can go in and break down some of the other UV filters, and that is not really a great thing. Even that titanium dioxide is not put in here as a sort of a physical filter. I'm pretty sure it is only put in order to control how the color will be, to lighten the color of the iron oxides. But the side effect can actually be that it breaks down the UV filters, or that is something that can be a problem for at least other sort of sun filters. And even worse if it was zinc oxide, but here it is titanium dioxide. Now, I'm pretty sure you can see that when they state that this could be something that is really good as a makeup base, really, I don't really think I would use this as any sort of a makeup base, because I simply think that the makeup is just smear around and never really set or anything, regardless of how much setting powder you will be using. This will, I mean, it's gonna look really, really odd, and I'm pretty sure that the color of this stuff here, it will mix into the color of the foundation that you might be using. So I can really not recommend that. And yes, it takes a little while before something like this sinks in, but I just think this is simply the same for usually when I'm trying something from Avène. It is greasy. It usually is very, 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 very greasy. I really can't imagine that this will be any good for any sort of skin that is already a little bit greasy, and I doubt that this sort of monolaurin that they have put in will actually control the sebum so much that this will be okay to use on your skin. And I think if you have a dry skin, this is not meant for dry skin, but if you had a dry skin, all this stuff will sit in where your skin is flaky or not as good as it should be for the moisture barrier. So this stuff here, well, I can basically, I can take away my lips. That is how much the color in this product is essentially. Yeah, this is not working, is it? So yes, it might be that TriAsorB is a really good UV filter and so on, but I'm afraid when they make a product like this, when they put it in a product like this, it really doesn't matter if it is a good UV filter or not, because I don't think that many people will use this stuff here. And just to come back to how much you should use, yes, there might be people saying that they love this product here and it's the best thing ever, and they just use a little bit, or a little bit goes a long way, or something like that. No, it's not like that with sunscreens. It's not like a little bit goes a long way. You have to use the correct amount every time, and that is usually about 1.25 milliliter, regardless of what sort of a UV filter or sunscreen you are using. So that is simply just the way that these products are tested. So yes, is this something I'm going to buy again? Well, I don't think so, and I don't think that anyone really should buy a product like this, because I think one of the problems with a tinted sunscreen like this is that people, they simply will use way too little, and I think they will start to use even less than if it was a non-tinted sunscreen. So already I think a lot of people, they don't use enough sunscreen, and that is a problem. And if you would like to protect yourself against the sun, of course, and when you're using something like this that is tinted, I think that you have a tendency to in general use even less, and that is definitely not a good thing. So yes, this is not something I'm going to buy again. So that was my verdict on this product here. So if you would like to see more of this sort of videos, please subscribe, hit the bell, and do other things you must do in order to be notified when I upload more of this sort of videos. Thank you for watching. See you. Bye.